Hello. So, this decade is coming to an end. And John Green made a very inspiring video where he talked about, the best moments of the decade. And I want to make a similar one where I talk about, my best moments and also my biggest regrets. I mean, I don't have a lot of regrets. And I did watch like 5 seasons of BoJack Horseman on my Christmas break. So, I mean, from all the things that I could have watched. But that's something I will have forgotten in like a week or two. Anyway, no regrets. Now, a decade is a long time. 10 years ago, I still went to school. And this has happened less than 10 years ago.
I just realized making YouTube videos is kind of fun. And so we'll keep making them.
On the other hand, I've been making YouTube videos for almost 10 years now. What the fuck? I mean, I learned a thing or two, like lighting, how to present, and I did not learn anything about white balancing though. Here, look, that's white. Look at that. Look at how white this white paper is. Look who also got old.
She will be a ghost for Halloween.
I mean, I don't want to call you fat. But 10 years ago, you definitely have been a nicer kitty. Moving on! Okay, you can move on now, Katze. No, kitty. That needs to stay the same. The thing is, I cannot remember a lot of things. Like, 10 years? I don't remember a lot. So, I'm pretty sure that there are better moments that I just can't recall anymore. But here is what I remember. When I was still going to school, in the last year, I took part in a programming challenge from the university. And in retrospect, that's really cool because it was something that I did myself. I was interested in this particular style of programming the behavior of ant colonies. Aunties.
The aim is not to make a lot of points. The aim is to make more points than the enemy.
For me, that was a game. And then I looked up online what else is there. And then I found out about the challenge that happens to be in Klagenfurt. And I signed up for it. And then I won it. I won like 700 euros and this keyboard. Look, it has ants on it. That was definitely one of the best moments. The day where I was at the university and my colony beat all the others.
Those enemies who manage to get out of their hill will be chased down.
But I also remember that there was one guy who got second place that I beat in the final. And I beat him quite obviously. But the toughest match was my first one. So the real second place should have gone to somebody else. But it was, a KO system. I kind of didn't like that. But we don't need to go into details. The cool thing is I won. And I didn't like the second place because he didn't even show up. He was just somewhere in Germany and submitted his colony and then that's it. Fucker. I regret that in the draw I didn't get to throw him out first. But that's nothing that I could have influenced, so that was a long time ago. What else? In the ranking of the best times that I had, I definitely need to mention Ultimate Frisbee. I'm pretty glad that I got into Ultimate Frisbee. Like randomly, when I started university, that was also in that decade, I just signed up for an Ultimate course. I had the booklet in front of me and it read Ultimate. And I was like, somebody once told me about this. And then I just signed up for it. I loved it ever since. And then I joined the Augärtners and I went to tournaments with them. Last one being the Beach Nationals. And if you saw the vlog from that, I've just been continuously happy.
It was nice to play Ultimate. I love playing on the beach.
It was a great tournament, but that was a few months back. So, that's still in my active memory. And there have been quite a few nice tournaments. Timmy.
Yay!
But I think the one that was like the best was Reinwerfen 2014. Where we got ourselves a minibus and drove all the way to the north of Germany. And then we also won that tournament, like with a double win, first place and spirit. That was like amazing. Yeah, that was probably the best tournament that I've ever been to. In terms of how I felt, not in terms of how the tournament and everything was. And it wasn't an important tournament, it was just a fun tournament. So from the tournament, point of view, it wasn't the best tournament. Like nationals or with Mythico in Bristol, or even volunteering at Worlds, that was definitely a better Ultimate tournament, but I haven't played there.
Wonderful time!
Good times. Ultimate is a nice sport. Do I regret anything with Ultimate? Nope, no regrets. Except maybe I should have taken care of my knees a bit better, because my knees are the reason why I stopped playing Ultimate, at least for now. It's not the best sport for the joints, but it's a fun sport. I do not regret playing Ultimate. In other news, another moment that I can recall once I think about it was when I went to Munich to see John Green. Because I used to really admire him, and also Hank Green. And I've seen them several times. I mean, Hank even more times by now. For instance, at VidCon. Look, his signature. But the first time I saw John Green was probably the most impressive, like the most, due to lack of words. I'm not a writer.
Oh my god, I'm so happy! You don't even... Oh! I can't even really tell you!
Yeah, first time meeting an idol, that was very nice and also very unsatisfying in a way. Because you can never, you know, get a real connection.
I'm in the same frame as you, that's so cool.
Yeah, it's cool for me too. What's your name?
It was super nice that I saw him live and I was there with him and he signed my books, but that was it. There were 2 readings that night and I went to the first one and I regret not being able to go to the second one. Some people went to both of them.
That's a terrible use of resources.
And I envied them a lot, so I felt bad waiting until the others are back from the second reading. That was the closest I ever got to John Green. I met Hank Green a few times. The first European VidCon, I really regret that I did not get a creator's pass. I don't know what I was thinking when I got the pass, and you know, I made a separate video about that, complaining a long time about it.
I just happened to be in the wrong track!
That's still something I remember that I could have done a lot better. I mean, why? Because I wanted to save those $25. That was just stupid. And I regret it. I mean, just think of what could have become of me if I went to that creators track. Right? I could have met people. I could have upped my YouTube game. I could have been a famous YouTuber by now. You know, would not have happened. But anyway, I definitely regret that. I mean, on the pro side, I got an autogram from Hank Green. Wow, okay. But, come on, a little bit of money. I should have invested that. I mean, especially since the whole flying there and taking a freaking hostel also cost me like 400 euros. If I would go there again now, I would just buy the second ticket. Because, you know, what is money? But I didn't think so back then, because I still was a student with not a lot of money. Anyway, that's in the past now. But it happened this decade, so wanted to tell you. I think that's my third most regret that I can think of. On the way to the top 2. So going to Bristol was like one of the best decisions of my life. I knew that I wanted to go somewhere, and it just so happened that Bristol was the only English-speaking opportunity that I had in Europe. So to Bristol I went, and it was amazing. Best decision ever that happened randomly. I mean, my life changed a lot due to going to Bristol. Before Bristol, I didn't even know what improv was, and now it's like one of the essential things that I like in life, doing improv. And I learned a lot due to improv. And also, the Bristol suspensions, I even have a shirt from them. I'm gonna wear their shirt. I mean, I went to Mallorca, yes, purple is my favorite color, yes. The tournament there was interesting to work at, even though it was a shit ton of work. I also liked it, but I don't think it makes the best moments. Certainly good moments, like thinking of the time when I danced on a rooftop with Krashe. There were some nice moments there. Also, I met Rafael Nadal. That happened. But it's none of my best moments. That just happened. Anyway, the Bristol suspensions, however, man, I went to many of their concerts. I'm their #1 fan, as they say. And like, that got me hooked with a cappella. Well, hooked. It got me, like, it introduced a cappella to me in a more like approachable way. And then I wanted to do it myself, and then here we are. Now I'm in a professional a cappella band. Fuck yeah, I'm in a choir. Yeah. Yeah. That would not have happened if I wouldn't have gone to Bristol. So as far as choices go, going to Bristol was probably the best one of the decade. Or the second best one. Let's say the second best. But. There's only one thing that I regret about Bristol. And I regret it a lot. And that is going to the dentist there. Because this tooth just started hurting a lot while I was in Bristol.
My tooth hurts. This one.
So I went to the closest dentist. Turns out UK dentists are shit. Or it was just this particular one. In any case, the dentist I went to was shit. So, got the cavity fixed and my tooth still hurt afterwards. And here's the thing, I should have just let it hurt for another week or so and see if it gets better. Might have become better because, as I know me, I'm just a massive pussy. And if something hurts, I'm like, oh no, it hurts, where's the doctor? However, I think that it could have possibly just been the after pain from the operation of the cavity removal that they did. And I should not have gone to the dentist again, because when I went there again, they did a root canal treatment. So basically killing my tooth.
Yay, never again this dentist.
Which I think now in retrospect was a bit unnecessary. And I should have consulted another dentist. Like a good one, like mine here. But I didn't. Like, I never had anything with, like, my dentist usually figures out, oh yeah, there's cavity, let's remove it, fix it, fine. And I check my teeth almost every half year, so it's fine. But apparently I forgot to check it before Bristol. So yeah, maybe I should regret not going to the dentist before going to Bristol. That would have been a good idea. Anyway, I definitely regret that I let them do that root canal treatment, because now I have a dead tooth in my mouth for 5 years already. I mean, it's fine for now, but as soon as there's something more with it, I'll have to take it out. Yeah, but it, like, wow. This is a very first world problem, I must admit. But so are all of my problems, except climate change, because that's everyone's problem. Anyhow, I'm getting sidetracked again. Side note, yes, it does happen that I go to a place and then I regret going there because it wasn't the best. I mean, you have to try things, right? Like, I went to a hairdresser and I'm not happy with them because, like, on one side the hair is longer than on the other. I mean, what the hell? So I'm just not gonna go there again. But hair grows back, teeth don't. What was I talking about? Yeah, I guess, okay, it's nothing that can't be fixed. It's just I would have preferred my tooth to still be alive. Yeah, whatever. That was top 2. Okay, coming to top 1. Top 1, best moment. I can't pin it down. Like, there is no one best moment that I can think of, because I had many good moments, had a few shitty ones, and I just say that because I watched too much BoJack Horseman. From all the series that I could have possibly watched, why this one? I should have started with Game of Thrones. I'm swearing a lot more because of it. Anyway, don't fucking distract yourself, asshole. But I'm pretty confident in telling the time when I was overall the most happy. And that was definitely... When was that? Fucking hell. 14, 15 was Bristol. 15, 16. So 2017. 2017 was the year that I was the most happy in this decade. And the reason for that is a girl called Kemi. You might remember Kemi. She's been in a lot of videos.
I got it! Ah. Yeah, because I like her. I got it! If you let me live with you, then I might give you a business card. That's how it works.
Got it.
And looking back at those videos, we really had some good times. It was really nice.
Without parties, I would have never met her.
I don't want to pick one moment, but I know of one moment where it's just been so clear to me that this is it. And that was in Paris when we were at the Lollapalooza festival. Just everything worked and it was just all great. So if I would have to pick a moment of this decade, I would choose that one. I would even go for the first day where I saw Walk of the Earth as well and Jeremy Loops. Man, it was just great. Me standing behind her, holding her. I picked that as the top moment of this decade. And then next day we saw Red Hot Chili Peppers, which was also cool. But also a bit stressful, raining, shit ton of people. Oh yeah, it was good. And now, since all of my regrets have something to do with the best moments that I talked about previously, guess what my biggest regret is? Yep. Breaking up with Kemi. Not even that I did it, but how I did it.
We don't need to have a relationship.
Because, I mean, you could argue that we had it coming. Long distance relationships just don't work. Maybe I should regret, you know, letting it die, investing more of my energy, but I couldn't. I wanted to be in Graz and I couldn't make it work. But what I could have definitely done, I could have definitely flown to Paris to do it face to face. I mean, I wasn't in a good place back then, but man, I should have done that. I should have just booked a flight. That should have been worth it to me. Once again, money strikes back or something. Yeah, I still regret that a lot. And I still wonder sometimes whether or not I should have done it at all. And where I would be in my life if I wouldn't have done it. But there's no point in analyzing what would have been if. Because it's just not. It's just not. You did what you did and you live with the consequences.
I also don't regret it, even if I think that it might have been the worst decision of my life.
I don't want to spend energy thinking about that. But I do also want to state that, yeah, I could have done that a lot better. And she did not deserve it the way it happened. That's been 1.5 years ago by now, and I still have a lot of negative feelings about that. And I did have other girlfriends.
But
I regret my decision.
My first sex was also a pretty good moment for me when it finally happened. Both me already being 22 and also me trying a long time before that and just not, that was a thing. Yeah, so young back then. And at the same time so old. Anyway, I also really enjoyed the time with my other girlfriends. Don't get me wrong, it's just that it was the most serious with Kemi. One might say I'm crazy for her. All the others basically had an obvious deadline. Some of them didn't even meet that deadline because I gave up earlier. But those I don't regret. Now that ended on a negative note. But the 20s are gonna be better. Make a backup.
2020's gonna be my year. My year. 2020's gonna be my year. Yeah, my year. 2020's gonna be my year. My fucking year. 2020's gonna be my year. My year.